All right, here we are restarting the very beginning portion of our Canva class. Thank you guys for your patience on this. I appreciate it. And I'm just going to jump right in. So Canva, this is a graphic design website. Just a real quick overview of the plans. This is the comparison. The pro account, it's definitely worth it. So with the pro account, you get all of these extra little things, but really the most important thing, in my opinion, is that you get access to all of the content on there. So all of the graphics, all of the photos, every line and box and everything that you could possibly need to add to a graphic design is available to you. The pro is definitely worth it if you're going to be using Canva more than 2 times per week, which you should be. All right, so moving on. This is also where you can get free stock images and paid stock images. You can access these links at any time. The free stock images, use them on your graphic designs for sure, but it's going to be either less quality photos or more obscure, not as directly related to your information. Free stock images is not going to be as good as paid. That's just how this world works, unfortunately. This is the app. So we get asked a lot if Canva has a phone app or a mobile app, and that they do. I personally don't ever really use the mobile app for Canva. This might be something that you would want to use, but to me, it's much easier to just get on a whole computer screen and really go through it that way on a bigger screen. All right, ratios. This is important. So when you are beginning a design on Canva, you have your choice of ratios. So understanding these differences, at least just these 4, are very, very crucial to creating successful content. So a landscape is great for news feed stories. That means like a direct post on your Facebook or a direct post on your Instagram that when people scroll by, they can see the video. Square is safe. I will say that a few times. Square is safe. So if you're ever wondering, well, which one should I use out of all of these? Default always to square, a 1-to-1 ratio. It is a perfect box, a square, and that will fit appropriately on Instagram, on Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere that you're going to use it, it will work. Portrait. Portrait's a good one for newsfeed stories as well. Like landscape and portrait are both good ones. With portrait, especially on Facebook or Instagram, it's going to probably get cut off here at the top or the bottom a little bit. So definitely be selective when you're choosing portrait. Now, vertical, however, is your go-to when you're doing stories, reels, or Instagram TV, which they've pretty much gotten rid of because they have reels now. But the stories and the reels, this is what you want to use because it does fill up the entire phone screen, as you can see here. So that's why we want to pick that one, because it is optimized for the phone screen. We will go through this, the searchable templates on Canva. So to me, everything on Canva is all based on a template. There are very rare occasions that I will start from scratch with a design on Canva. I usually go to a template. So these are just a few different examples of what you can use as a search for your template. This is where you would type those keywords for those templates that we were just talking about. Okay, here's just some additional resources. If you need any more information on Canva, if you want some more detailed walkthroughs of different processes on Canva, this is where you would go. Inspiration, I think we all kind of know all these, but I really feel that HGTV is the way to go out of all 4 of these. HGTV, we know whatever they're pushing out is something people want to see. So why not glean a little bit off of what they're doing? So that's that. Now let me go back over here. So here's Canva. This is our home screen on Canva. So if I wanted to, I can search content on Canva. I can search through their templates, the Canva templates. Or if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to search open house. I can search open house template here and pick one of these fancy ones, or if I have an existing project for open house, which it doesn't look like I do, but I have all these other projects that it's, you know, spitting out at me like, hey, maybe you want to use this one. So projects are my projects. Templates are what they sound like, templates that I would be suggested to use for an open house, since that's what I searched for. If I wanted to, I'm going to scroll down and all of my designs are right in here. Like Tracy right there, pretty girl. So we got all of the designs right here. If I wanted to access them, something really cool that I like, if you hover over it, it'll start switching the pages to show you kind of what else is in that design besides that first page. So that's cool. You can kind of see like a little summary, like, oh yeah, that's where I put that, or oh, I remember that's there. So that's another great tool. If you want to create a design from scratch, which we are going to do that, you would go right here, create a design. So when you do that, when you are creating a design, it gives you the opportunity to choose a size, of course, like what we were talking about, your ratio, your aspect ratio. So this is important. You can even see, look, Facebook event cover, they get very, very specific. So let's say I type in Facebook. Now this is a design template. So just, this is me choosing my size, right? I'm not choosing a template to where there's going to be designs on it already. This is just choosing the shape of my design. So I'm going to go with square because that's our go-to. Remember, square is safe. So I'm going to go to square. And here I have my navigation panel right here. This is where all of my different aspects of the design are going to live. So we're going to work our way around this. I'm not going to necessarily go from top to bottom, but I am going to move around a bit. So if I wanted to, I could go right here, and now I have my square Facebook post. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, open it up. All right, and then I'm going to make it nice and centered, and here we go. So if I wanted to, I could search here, open house. Ooh, not Hostway, house. There we go. So I could choose open house. Now, this one, I think I like that one, but let me scroll down a little bit. Anywhere you see this little crown, see it says as a Canva Pro subscriber. So the crowns just mean that it is a pro option. So this one doesn't have a crown next to it. This is a free option. If you had a free account, this would be available to you, this one, but these nice fancy ones wouldn't be. So I'm going to choose, you know what? I'm going to choose this one. So now here it is. It gave me all my different aspects of this design for me to start manipulating and working around. So right here, obviously, is our photo, but look, I just double clicked that. And now the rest of the photos opened up. So this is a frame. So we're going to look at these frames, and I would obviously, I'm going to do this one quickly because we're going to go over a little bit more detailed of how to build things. But this is where I would just kind of, you know, take a different photo from my uploads. So if I wanted to take my photo and put it in there, I'd come to my uploads, I'd go to the house that I want to use, and I drag and drop, double click, shift it around, make it look nice. Price starts at, you know, well, this is for rent, but you know, you get the idea. You want to do open house and adjust all of this information, adjust the write-up, you know, make it a clickable button, put your phone number in your website. So you would change all these around. Now you can also change the color of things. So this is definitely a certain color palette, right? But now let's see, if I wanted to match it to the colors that are in here, I would just, I'm here in colors and I'm scrolling down, and here are the photo colors. So I'm going to change it to this lighter green. I think that's a little bit more inviting. And then I'm going to make this one that darker green. And oh, look at that. So anywhere that it was black before, it's asking me, do I want to change everything black to be this dark green color? I don't, but if I did, I would just press change all. So you can kind of see how you would take a template and start manipulating things. I mean, literally everything is something you can like adjust. So the templates are just giving you suggestions of what to use. Everything is its own individual element that you can move around, that you can delete, that you can make bigger, that you can change the font for. You're getting the idea, I hope. So this is a great design to use, like a template, you know. Now I'm gonna add a page, right? So I was just here and I'm on the same design. I'm on my open house flyers is what I'm gonna call it, or yeah, flyers for social, because this was that square shape. I know that I'm probably not gonna use this in an email campaign or anything like that because this is shaped for social. So now here I have another one. And I think I'd rather make this one from scratch. So the first thing I'm going to do is give me a format for my photos. So if I go back to design, this is where I would search for those templates for the open house. So I'm going to go back here, but now I'm going to go down to elements. So elements is really where it's at. Elements is where your graphics are, your lines and shapes, your stickers, you can access pretty much anything along here except for your uploads right here in elements. So we're going to go here toward this bottom part. Now grids is an important one. So grids is a great one because now I'm going to click this grid. Anywhere that you see this view right here, this landscape, like kind of like rolling hills with a nice blue sky and a little cloud. See, it kind of goes on. This one's for the frames and here for the grids. That means that this is an opportunity for you to drop a photo in there. So actually, if I come back up here and I delete, oh, look at that. It just came back to this because I deleted the photo that was in there. And I just put it back instead of coming up here and pressing undo. See, it even tells you Control Z. Control Z is the way. So, all right, now I have something where I'm going to drop a photo into the whole thing. So the reason you want to do this, I'm going to delete this really quick. So let's say that I went to my uploads and I just clicked on the photo of the house. See, it kind of just dropped in there with the standard size that the photo came in. But now I would have to work and like stretch it out and make it fit through the whole thing. Instead, I'm going to come back up here to elements. I'm going to click the grid. I'm going to go back to my uploads. And now I drag and drop and it goes right in there as a perfectly sized thing. All I have to do is double click, slide it over, and now the house is perfectly framed where I want it. But you know what? I kind of wanted to put my little business card above the photo of the house when I showcase this. So instead of that one photo grid, I'm going to change it to 2. Well, first, before I do that, I'm going to delete this one. Okay, now I'm going to do 2. So here, I'm going to come back to uploads and I'm going to put this one at the bottom. I like that. I think I'm going to pull it down a little bit, get less driveway, more foliage, more sky. That's really nice. I really like how that's framed out. So now what are we going to do with this upper portion? So now I'm going to use my business photo that I really like. So I'm going to go down here to photos. And for those of you in Shore2Shore who remember, we did use this one. But photos is where you can really search for any kind of stock photo. So I'm going to search for beach because like I'm Tina Scarborough, beachside realtor. Not really, but you know, you do sell beachside. You do stuff beachside. Here we are, beachside. Okay, pull it. There we go. That's how I want it to be. So now I have these 2. Great. They look pretty disjointed, but I'm going to make them make sense. I'm going to come over here. So I have the photo of the home at the bottom and right here, I have that. And now I'm going to go into my text. Actually, before text, sorry about that. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to go scroll up right here, go to elements. So what I'm going to do is in the elements here, I think I want a little way of making my text that I put right here. I want to make it stand out. So how am I going to do that? Make it stand out by adding a shape. Okay, that's dark and not in the color we want, and maybe a little bit too in your face. I'm gonna pull it out, pull it over, pull it up a little bit. Okay, so now I'm gonna go over here to the color, and when you see the color block, you can change it. Make it white. Oops, sorry about that. So now here I am, but Yeah, it's like too bright. Like the white is too bright. So I'm gonna click it again and it opens back up the options for that block. So now I'm gonna go up here to this one, transparency, and I'm gonna make it transparent to where now when I put text on top of it, the text will pop out, but this block isn't so in my face and interrupting this beautiful photo of the beach. So now I would come back to my text and add it there. And that is where our other recording picks up. So, all right, here we are. We have our text options now. So if you look right here, you can see like there's some font combinations that they've made. You know, they make this like glow situation, sparkle, cold, smooth, and tasty. So they give you like a lot of different, these are kind of like text templates in a sense. I don't really use them very much because when I'm trying to stay on brand, these aren't really our brand. So I'm gonna add either a subheading or a heading. I usually go with subheading because again, everything is customizable. You're gonna change it after the fact. You're gonna increase the font size. You're gonna change the color. You're gonna change the font. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna move it right there. We'll move thing. And I'm gonna write in Tina Scarborough, licensed real estate broker, and that's it for my title. Because if I keep going here with the email and the phone number and everything, then everything's going to be stuck in one text box together. And that's not necessarily what I want. I want to be able to manipulate the text box to be a little bit different and to move them individually of each other. So I just grabbed over here, dragged it up, and now the font is a bit bigger. So I'm going to center that within the box. It's trying to get me to center it within the post. So when you see those red lines or pink lines, however you see them, when you see them show up, it's just trying to give you a guide. Like let's say, see that now that's showing me I am dead center. That is exactly, if I was trying to put this dead center, this is where I should drop it. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm going to put it over here. Now, this is to me like a title. So for us, our brand font is Wendy Medium. So I'm going to type in Wendy Medium. There it is. And now I click the whole thing. Oh, it did not the whole thing. So I'm going to highlight all of it. Yeah. Wendy Medium. Oh, now it got really small. So now I'm going to adjust based on this new font that I chose. There we go. So now I have this title, which is great. But now I want to add all of your other information below that, your contact info. So I'm going to add another subheading. And I'm going to do 321, 321, 321. Unfortunately, I don't have Tina's phone number memorized yet, but I will soon, promise. So there's the phone number. I think I can put the phone number and the email on the same line. Tina@Shore2ShoreRealty.com. But I don't like that it's centered. So I'm going to come up here and just like on a Word document or Google Doc or wherever you format your text, you have all pretty much the same options up here. Font, size, the color of the text, bold, italicize, underline. Just something to keep in mind. Certain fonts won't allow it. So see, as soon as I click back over here with this Wendy Medium font, it does not allow me to bold. It does not allow me to italicize because some of these have their own versions of, see, there's the Wendy bold. So it doesn't give me the option to bold this one because that's not the one I selected. If I did this one, it would be the bold option. Okay, so back over here, we have all these options. This is if I wanted to make everything uppercase, which is a great tool instead of having to like retype everything. It's great. So that's how you would do that. And then making everything lowercase or anything like that. So now we have our alignment. I think this would look better if it was all aligned to the left. So I'm going to do that. And now see, it's giving me the guide to line up with the text box directly above. I'm going to move it up just a little bit. I love the guides on here. I think that that's like the most useful tool. So you have the alignment, you have bullet points, you also have numbers. See right there. If you just click it again. So first click is bullet, second click is numbers, third click makes it go away. Spacing, I cannot just adjust the line spacing, which is important, but the letter spacing. So I want you to like see how it adjusts as I do it. So let me move it to where you can see it a little bit better. All right, so check me out. Now, when I do this and I do letter spacing, it stretches it out. And you would think like, why would I want that? But you do want that because it makes certain things a little bit more clear to read, especially if you have a lot of text on something. It's easier for our human eyeballs to kind of follow it along when you can see each letter more individually. So I'm going to move it back up here. I'm going to make it smaller again. You know what, though? I think I want this to be a little bit more attention grabbing. Like I want people to really look and see my contact information or Tina's contact information, right? So what I'm going to do is I know that I think I need like a graphic for a phone and a piece of mail. So I'm going to come back up here to elements where all the graphics are. All the graphics are in elements. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to type phone. Now all of these graphics come up. So it gives you all the categories. So like the graphics, the phone, or the photos, I mean, the frames, the videos, and the audio. But I want to see the graphics. So I'm going to go see all. And I think this one would work really well right here. So I'm going to make it pretty small. And then I'm going to move it over here right next to the phone number. Boom shakalaka. And now I'm going to search email. And here it is. I'm going to pick one that's sort of similar. Seems like this one would probably work really well. I'm going to make it small again. Bring it up. Looks like I need to make it a little smaller. Perfect. And now you have that next to each other. So it actually seems like this needs another space, but that's a little bit too much. So I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to adjust the line spacing to be a little bit less. So that way my enter is not so drastic. Okay, that's a little bit less space. That's good. So now I can move this a little bit more directly next to the phone number, and then the same thing with the email one. I'm gonna make it just a smidgy smaller. And I'm now going to move that right next to Tina and her email. So I would maybe replace this one to be one of the phone ones that have a circle around it. Again, this is one of those things that like, you're going to think something looks good and maybe it doesn't. So we're going to play around with it a little bit. Now I'm going to put this one in there, see how that looks compared to the first one that I had, and see if it matches that email one a little bit better. And I think it does. I think that looks really good. So I'm happy with the design. But maybe, you know what? I want to put some information about the property at the bottom. So I'm going to come back. I'm in elements. And I'm going to, here's my lines and shapes. I'm just going to click this very simple square. I'm going to drag it to the bottom. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to extend it all the way. I'm just going to bring it down. And now you have a banner at the bottom. Here I am, I'm going to scroll down. Again, all of these different brands are just the people that Allie works with, but here's ours right here. So there isn't any red in the photo. If this was a Supreme title photo, I would choose the red, but because this is a Tina Scarborough photo, I'm going to do probably blue again, the blue that I did up here, but I don't really like that. So I'm going to do this blue instead. I do like that. So now I have this down here. I'm going to come back. I'm going to go to text. I'm going to do another subheading, and I'm going to say this is 123 Main Street. I'm going to put the price is 500,000, whatever you want it to be. And then I'm going to drag it down here. I'm going to make it look nice. A little bigger. And then if I have this information on this side, maybe I can put like the MLS information on this side of the banner. And now I have my contact information, who I am with, you know, my nice little cover photo business card situation. And I have this information about the house, my new listing, and it all looks amazing. So that is a really simple design, just using a grid. Let's do another one. So right there, all I used is duplicate page. So this is what I was talking about, like when I was on my flyers, right? When I was on my flyers, I had this pretty much the same flyer, but I had so with the flyers, I just did this. I duplicated the page and then I would change the photo, change the bio, and change the whichever office that title agent was in. And it made things so much easier for me because I was just able to, at that point, drop and click. After I made the first one, it was super easy sailing from there. So with all of this, I'm gonna kind of drag, just like how you would select everything, and I'm gonna delete. That deleted all of my elements. Remember, this is all in layers. So that just deleted my elements. I'm gonna delete all my photos and everything. So we can also look at, again, check in with my lesson plan. Just one moment, please. I wanna show you photo editing options because there's some incredible ones on here. Text, okay, I went through text, I went through photos. Okay, cool. Nice. We're on the last little part. That's great. Okay, so choosing your brand colors is important. We talked about that. So brand hub right here. This is where things are set. So I can reset things here. I can add logos, but the colors are important. I'm definitely gonna adjust these to include our gray color instead of this peachy color that we don't use anymore. But you can add brand photos, and that's a great one because you can just upload your business card as a photo file, and now here it is in your brand hub. Because if you rely on everything living in your uploads, I mean, what if I was trying to find the Supreme Title logo? I mean, I would literally be scrolling forever trying to find it. Yes, I could do this, not that, I could do this, and there it is. But what if I had it just in my brand hub and I could go right here, click, and it's in there. So that's definitely something I recommend setting up. Okay, and now with photos. So let's make something really, really easy, like a just listed type of photo. I like those. So I'm gonna use, I don't have too many photos in front of houses anymore, but I'm probably just gonna use that same one. Oh, here's another good one. Oh, but I did that mistake again where I want to put it on a grid. So I'm going to go back, elements, grid. And now I just want that single grid again. So I put the grid on there. Now I'm going back to uploads. I'm grabbing and I'm dragging. And this is okay. You know, I can double click it. When you double click it, that's how the photo opens up and you can make different adjustments. I can't make it smaller because with the grid, it's allowing it to fill up the whole frame. So I'm just going to drag it over so at least it doesn't cut off the front of the house and it looks a little bit more centered. I know it's a little tilted. This isn't the best photo over front of the house, but I'm hoping you get the idea. Here, maybe I should use this one. Let me use this one instead. Okay, I think that's a little better. So that's the photo I'm going to use. Now, I want to do my team photo, me and beautiful Tracy here. Because what I want to do is put us at the bottom, like, hey, this is our listing. Oh, and you see, as soon as I try to drag it on top of the grid, it's going to try and add it to the grid. So what I'm going to do first is actually add another layer on top of the grid first. I'm going to take out grid search. I don't want that. And I'm going to do the square again. I'm going to stretch this square to fill the whole thing. Oh no, but now I can't see my photo. What do I do? Okay, this is what you do. Remember that transparency that we used? So first, I'm going to change the color. I want it to be this nice blue color. So again, here's those photo colors from the photo of the home that I uploaded, but I don't want to do that. I think I'm going to use this one. I like that color. So I'm going to go to transparency, and now I'm going to make it this transparent. So now I can still see the front of the home and it's still showcasing. Now I can go back to uploads and it won't try to drop it into my grid. Now it's just recognizing it as an element on top of it because I've added that extra layer. So now I want to edit this photo. There's some things I want to do. And the first thing I want to do is remove the background. That's a big one. So edit photo, background remover. Where did it go? There it is. BG remover. So anywhere that you see this little crown, whether it's on the elements or otherwise, like see there, crown. So back to my photo edit. Okay. So anywhere you see the crown, that's a pro feature. So if you are going to stick with the free version, that pro feature won't be available to you. Something I'm going to talk to Tina about is how our person, Allison, like got us to be a part of her like social media team, because then maybe you guys might only have to get one pro account and you could all share it. I feel like that's a possibility, and I'm going to look into that for you because I know you would want it. So background remover, I'm going to click it and it just, I'm stepping back. That's it. I clicked one button and now look at that. It's crazy to me. The first time I did this, it absolutely blew my mind beyond anything else. So I have this beautiful background oh my gosh, this beautiful photo where the background was removed. Okay, words. So I'm going to drag it down to the bottom. I'm gonna make us a little bit bigger. We're so pretty. And there we go. So now I'm gonna go back to my text. I'm going to, you know what, this would be maybe one of those opportunities to use one of these font combinations. So I'm gonna do that with, let's see, this one. I like that one. And I'm gonna say, so it has it separated into two different text boxes so that you can manipulate them. So when I go into here, listed, and I go into here, just, I'm gonna make the whole thing, not just one text box, but the whole thing smaller. Now, I want it to be centered. Oh, that one is centered. Just listed. Pink is not really our brand color, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to make that red. Same thing with this one, red. And you can see there's kind of like, it looks like clip art, if you remember clip art from PowerPoint. So that's just one of the effects, and you can see that the effects are highlighted because there is an effect already on this because we chose a template, like a font combination. So the effect that they have on here is the shadow effect. And I like this effect, not just for text, but for photos too. It adds a little bit of depth and perception to the photo. So actually, I'm thinking I want to take that off. It's a little bit distracting. So I just turned it off. Same thing. I'm going to click on effects. I just clicked into the just, because remember, they're in separate boxes. So I clicked into just, back into effects, and I'm going to do none. So now there's no effect on here. It's just the words. And I actually really like how that looks. But now I want to put the shadow effect on our photo. So I did the background remover. There's a couple more things I want to do to this photo. So let's say I didn't want to be on the inside. I wanted to be on the outside and put Tracy on the inside. If I wanted to do that, I would do flip. Flip. Okay. And flip horizontal. It didn't change the photo. It just flipped it around. So now Tracy's on the inside and I'm on the outside. I'm gonna flip it back. If I did a flip this way, now we're upside down.
That is cool.
Isn't it? I've used that so many times, especially those those flyers that I keep mentioning that I've just edited. There was a photo that like did not make any sense this one way. And as soon as I flipped it around, it worked perfectly. And it was like, it's really a very satisfying feeling to like make these things look so perfect. I love it. So you can actually animate different features, different elements of your design, and animating it is kind of like a visual effect, again, like in a PowerPoint presentation. You know, you can rise, pan, wipe, pop, breathe. So you can use these, they're great to use. But the only thing is that as soon as you animate something or put a video in something, now it has to be exported as a video and uploaded as a video. Instead of just being a flat post, now it's a video. So just be aware that when you're doing something like this, adding an animation or adding a video, that's what you're doing ultimately. So now I'm gonna go back to here, back to my photo. So let's say I'm good with my photo. Like I'm gonna add elements, I'm gonna do some different stuff on here, but I know that this photo is exactly how I want it. Oh, I didn't show you the shadow. Edit photo, back to edit photo. And then we're gonna do, let's see, this one. Where's that shadow? Just there. Huh. I don't know where they moved that. I haven't used that in a little bit. There should be the shadow. Okay, well, anyway, I wanted to show you this anyway. This is actually a great feature of the background remover. So let's say I had, like, you know, I didn't like the way my bun looked and I wanted to erase part of it. So I can adjust my brush size, make it a little smaller. And now I can literally come up here and erase my bun. Now I look like a little French boy, but but if I wanted to put it back, if I'm like, oh gosh, that was a terrible decision, why did I do that? Restore, and if I brush back over it again, I gotta be careful because anything outside the bun is also going to restore. But you see what I mean? Like I can put it back. So that's a really cool feature of the background remover. Now, if you do that and you're like, oh, that looks terrible, Control Z, I'll say it again, Control Z is your best friend. It is your absolute best friend. And it's not going to work for this, but everything else, if you do something and you want to undo it, Control Z is the way to go. You can also come up here and just undo, but even Canva will tell you, hey, just do Control Z. So I messed it up. I'm going to start over with the photo, just do it really quick again. So there it is. Edit photo, background remover, picture perfect. Pull that in, pull us down to the side, make us a little bit bigger, and we're back. We're back, baby. And now, like, I'm ready, you know, I'm ready to post. Maybe I want to put my my logo on here. And I can do that, adjust it down here, pull it down to the bottom. And now I have my logo. Now, let's say I wanted to add a QR code so that people could scan the QR code and go straight to the listing. So I actually use a different website to make my QR codes. I use this one, QR code generator, and I'll send you the link to that. I like it because I can put my logo in the middle of the QR code, but you do have the ability to make the QR code on here. I believe it's on Elements. Yeah. I think so. They, you know, Canva updates all the time. And that's why I do my oh, there it is. So that's why I do my QR code like elsewhere, just because like sometimes I don't feel like looking for it on Canva again. But you can do it right here. So you do the QR code, add QR code, so I'm going to use, and then all you do is enter your URL. So I would just go to Flex, get the shareable link for the listing, put it right here. It gives you a preview, and then you generate that QR code, and you can put it anywhere on this design. So if I had done that and I was ready to export this, I think this looks great. I'm ready to share. So right here is where you share. And it gives you a lot of options of how you're going to download it or share it, or there's a lot going on here. It's a very busy area that is a little bit overwhelming for no reason, in my opinion. So we don't even need any of this. Like, to me, I don't need any of this unless you guys as a team want to share access to the design. You're not exporting the design. You're not downloading it this way. This is just so that someone else on your team or someone or whoever else can look on Canva at this design that you're looking at, and they can potentially make changes as well. But if you're ready to download it, come right down here to download. So it's going to suggest how I should download this, because the suggestion is based off of the template that we chose initially. So because I chose a Facebook post template, it's giving me the suggestion to export it as a PNG because it knows that that's what Facebook likes to have on there. You can't upload a PDF to social media. We're not doing a video because there's no animated elements or any video that I added to this. And I'm not printing it, so I know that I'm either doing PNG or JPEG, the photo file. So I'm going to stick with what it suggests, the PNG. The size, it's going to default to the size, the pixels that were already existing there. You can make it bigger. I don't suggest doing that. Pages. So remember how I said that it will save you a lot of like overwhelming amount of projects on your homepage if you put things together on one project. So now I have this one and I have this one, and it's on the same project up here, right? So now Facebook posts we're not in March anymore. That's scary. April 2023. So now I know all of my Facebook posts for all of April in the year 2023 are right here. So when I download, I'm back to share, back to download. I don't want to post this photo right now. I don't want to download it. So instead of all pages, I'm just going to unselect that page 1. So now I'm only downloading page 2. And I press download. And here we go. It's going to show up right down here. Boom shakalaka in my downloads. That transparency. Oh, okay. Another important thing. So when I added this, you see that ungroup? I use grouping and ungrouping like it's my day job. So if I ungrouped this, now these are individual boxes, and I'm going to move this around and move this around. Maybe I didn't like the way that it was formatted, or I wanted to change it up, or wanted to make this one bigger, or wanted to make this one a different font. Maybe that it's crazy, but let's just say I wanted to do that for whatever reason. I would never, but just for the sake of what I'm showing you. Okay. So now I made my adjustments, and now it was grouped before, but now I want to group it again. I ungrouped it. So now I select that. I'm hitting Control so that I can select 2 things, because if I try to do this, it's going to move that. Yep, it's going to move it. So I'm going to just move that for a second. See how I selected both? And now it's immediate. So I clicked right here, dragged over until the box showed up. And now I know both of these boxes are highlighted because they're both selected. So now that they're both selected, I drop, and now it's immediately prompting me to group them. Group. And now when I click it to drag it around, they're dragging around together instead of separately. I'm going to move my grid back. I'm going to move my, I'm going to move my transparent background back, go. And now I'm going to move this back. Now let's say I wanted to add a little graphic behind Tracy and I. I'm going to go back to elements. I'm just going to do another little shape. Okay, and I'm going to drag this over here. And I'm going to twist it around a little bit sideways. I'm going to open this up. And now I have this little thing. But I mean, I don't want it to block us. Why would I want that? That would be crazy. So I'm going to make this the color that I want. And now I'm going to go to position. So we had transparency. We know about that. That's what we did with this big one around the whole photo. But now position is how you move it backwards. So if I can move it backwards just behind us, and that's how it would look. It's not my favorite though. Not my favorite. I want to do something different. So now, but now it's behind our photo. So it's difficult for me to grab it. So I'm going to have to move our photo a little bit so that I can grab this. I'm going to go back to position and I'm going to move it backwards again. So now it's not just behind us, it's behind the other layer. This one, this transparent layer. See, now it's right back there. And I actually really like the way that that looks. I'm going to keep it that way. Again, it's all about layering. This is what's on top. This is what's on top. This is what's on top. This guy is behind it. Then that little color block that I just added behind Tracy and I, that's behind this. And the thing in the very, very back is the photo. So if you can think about this like layering, you will have a lot of success on here. Let's just say I had made an invitation to something or a thank you letter. And the thank you letter is a good one. Let me actually do that really, really quick. I'll make it a quick one. I know we're approaching 12 o'clock. So let's just say I wanted to do something like that. I'm just going to do this. This is the thank you letter. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So we're pretending this is a thank you letter. I wrote my thank you letter on this side. And now I want to go back to elements. I'm going to search for lines. See all in lines. Do I like any of those? Yeah, I like this one. Okay. So now I'm going to turn the line vertically, and it even tells you when you've reached 90 degrees so that you know exactly where you're at. And then you want to put this over here, and I want to put it like so. Okay. Yep, that's good. Looks good to me. So now I have, just to give you some time, Dear Jane Doe. Okay. So now we have a little bit more of a clear idea that this is a letter. So we have our letter on this side, and then I'm going to go back to my elements. Is that where it was? No. It was here. Yes. Okay. That's where the QR code is in the apps. Forgot. But because again, I always go right here to my QR code generator. But if I was going to put a QR code in, let's say I wanted to do the Supreme Agent app, whatever. Copy that. Now I'm back here. I'm going to paste. There it is. Generate QR code. They put it in there automatically. So now I have this QR code and I can add, you know, check out or leave me a review. That's obviously not what this link is for, but I'm hoping you can play pretend with me for a second. Leave me a review. So instead of sending this to someone via email, which would be your initial thought, I would think, I'm going to print these. I'm going to send them in the mail. These are going to be my thank you cards for the people who I closed over the last 2 months. So when I press share, I'm going to scroll down, print your design. You can get prints from here. Well, let me tell you something. They are affordable. Where do we get our cards, Tracy? Canva. We get them on Canva. If you've gotten a Mother's Day card from us, a Valentine's Day card, a Christmas card, all of them, I order them on Canva because they are super inexpensive. It gives you can even buy stickers. We've actually done that too. We've bought stickers before. You can order t-shirts, bumper stickers, all kinds of merch. The merch is not as inexpensive, but if you're just doing like a card, just a regular card, that's a business card. So we want to definitely make sure, like a postcard, that's what we want, like a portrait postcard. Okay, resize. So this is good because this is sized for a Facebook post because right, I'm on the same project that I was using before. So I'm like, oh, stupid me. Let me allow Canva to resize my design for what I'm going to print it for. So I'm not going to do these ones. I'm not going to do that guy. That's it. This is me. I'm going to print it. You have a front and you also do have a back page. So you can put like your logo on there and that kind of thing. You can choose the size, choose the type of paper, choose the finish, and then check this out. I laugh at this all the time. Like it's never not on sale. Just so you know, like you're seeing this as if it's on sale. It's always on sale. So no panicking that you're going to miss the opportunity for 86% off. It's always 86% off. So I don't even know why they do that. I don't know why they don't just put the price as $55 and, you know, I don't get it, but that's what they do. So you do that. I'm ready. I'm paying $55 for 250 postcards. I think that's super inexpensive, including the envelopes, an extra $35, free delivery, signed, sealed, delivered. That's all you got to do. Pretty easy. So how do we all feel about Canva? Do we have questions? I did stop sharing my screen, but I can go back if you wanted me to show you one thing again or anything like that. How y'all feeling? Talk to me.
I thought it was awesome, Rose. Like, I didn't realize how much it actually does, but I'm not in there as much as Sydney. So
yeah, it's a ton. Sydney, can I ask you, did you learn anything as someone who knows Canva? Like, did you learn anything? Be honest with me. I'm not going to be offended in any way.
I have screaming kids right now with me, so I can't really talk.
Oh,
but
okay.
yes.
Okay, you did. Okay, good. All right, I gotcha.
I actually use Canva a lot and I learned quite a few things that I didn't know before. So
yay.
Thank you.
Okay, good. That was one of my worries that like I was gonna do like things that were too simple, that if you had any familiarity with Canva, you were gonna know exactly what I was talking about, but yay, I'm glad. Lisa, what'd you think?
I thought it was great. Canva for me, I don't use it very often because of how intimidating I felt like it was. But now that you've broken it down and made it really super easy to understand, I definitely will be using it a lot more.
Oh, good. I'm glad. And you guys know that like I'm available